Welcome back, video 14 of module 2. Okay, in this video I have a little bit of a treat for you. I have an unadvertised bonus. Now, here's the deal, okay? This is how this treat came to be. When I was creating all the content and all the videos for this course, I was very aware, as I've already said, of the learning curve that is involved when you come across WordPress, particularly if it's the first time ever that you've been introduced to WordPress. I know it can be overwhelming. And I said this in the office. I was with Mike Filsame in his office in New York, and I was there with all his team, all the guys that work with Mike, and I said, you know what, I really wish that there was an easy-to-edit template that we could kind of give to you to instill you, particularly if you are new to this business, with a bit of confidence when it comes to using WordPress. And one of the guys that works with Mike is a guy called Ricky. He's a super guy. In fact, here's a picture of Ricky. I'm going to embarrass him now. How are you, Ricky? Ricky Matuka. Super nice guy. This guy, super cool guy. One of these real geniuses with computers and stuff. He can kind of take a phone apart and work out how it works and hand code it. You know, really, really clever. And Ricky said, you know what, Chris, I can create something for you. So I said, Ricky, that's great, and that's exactly what Ricky has done. Ricky has created for us a customizable WordPress landing page that's nice and easy, and if you are particularly new to using WordPress, this is really going to help speed up your learning curve tremendously. In fact, this is what the page looks like, and thank you very much, Ricky, for doing this, by the way. This is what the page looks like, and you will be able to download this and customize it and edit it in a few moments' time. Now, before we go and do this, I need to say something. I've often said that the most important thing in this business is coming into this business with the right mindset and not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed. It's very, very easy in this business to say, oh, I can't do it, and I quit. Now, clearly you are not of that mindset because you're here on this course. But the reason I wanted to flag it up now is because we're about to do something that is probably as techie as it gets. And I know I said that before when we used FTP for the first time, but we're going to use FTP again, but we're going to add another little dimension to it. Again, I'm going to take you by the hand and show you step by step what we are about to do. So please don't worry, don't panic. I'm going to explain it now, and then we'll actually go and do it. Okay, so this is what we're about to do, and this is kind of how it works when you really dig in deep with WordPress as well. And you're probably beginning to see what I meant when I said at first WordPress can be a little bit overwhelming, as good as it is. So to use this template that Ricky's created for us, the very first thing we need to do is download a zipped folder and unzip it. And we've been through that before, so we won't go through all that again. We'll just go and do it in a second. Now, here's where I really want you to pay attention, please. In this folder that we've just downloaded and unzipped, and we're going to go and do this in a moment, there are two things. Firstly, there's something called affiliate.com theme, and then secondly, there's something called affiliate.com plugin. Okay? So we've got a theme and a plugin that we are downloading. Now, what do we do with these? Let me tell you. Firstly, the theme needs to be FTP'd into the theme folder. I'll tell you where the theme folder is in a second. Just want you to understand the process. And then the plugin, can you guess where that would go? Logically, if the theme goes into the theme folder, where would the plugin go? You got it. The plugin needs to be FTP'd into the plugins folder. And both the plugin and the theme folders are in another folder that's called WP-content. I know. At first it's a little bit kind of frazzles your brain, doesn't it? You're thinking, oh gosh, what? This is a bit confusing. It's really not. Kind of bear with me. This is by far the most difficult bit, and it's just like really putting a few pieces of a jigsaw together. It's not particularly difficult. Let me give you kind of a graphical representation of how your hosting company looks, okay? This is how it looks at your host, okay? This is kind of the structure of your hosting company. Now, we upload everything into, remember the name of the folder that we upload everything into? It is called, you got it, well done. It's called the public_HTML folder. I'm sure you know this by now. That's the name of the folder that we upload everything into. Now, within that main folder, there can be many smaller folders that all fit into this main folder, and when you use WordPress that is the case. So there's another folder inside the public_HTML folder, and this second folder is called WP-content. Now this only applies if we're using WordPress, which we are of course right now. So we have this second folder inside the public_HTML folder, so we need to find that second folder. And then, just to make it a bit more complicated for you, within that folder we have a few more folders. In fact, there's only two that we are really concerning ourselves with, and these two other folders are called, one is called plugins, one is called themes. So let's just recap. We have a folder called plugins that is in a folder called WP-content that is in the public_HTML folder, and the same as themes. So that's kind of the structure of your host, and when we go to our FTP client in a moment, we will actually click on the public_HTML folder to find these folders that we're looking at here, and we will upload the relevant bits and pieces into the correct folder. Again, we only need to do this once. All together now. That should be my mantra, shouldn't it? So that's kind of the process. That's really as tough as it gets, by the way. Let's go and do it right now. Let's do that in the next video. See you there in a second.